Hello guys, I welcome you all to the second Android tutorial. So today we are going to run some view controls. Those are button, edit text and toggle button. So let's start with the practical program. Now here, as you can see, I have already created one project. So my activity main.xml file is already there along with Java file. So let us first do the program for button control. So button control is something in which basically we perform some on-click method or we generate some event. So we can basically say that button control is used to perform an action when user clicks on it. So when a user clicks on that particular button, some action or event is generated, like let's say we want to print some message. So when clicked on that button, one message will get print. So let us see with the help of an example program. So basically I am creating one button. So here I'll use some properties of button. I'm using the property named as text. I'll give some text, let's say style. I'll use bold. Then let me give the important thing, that is ID. Okay, now let's make it in the middle. So I'll use center horizontal true. So yeah, it is in the middle. Now I'll use some margin so that I'll bring up this button a little down. So margin top I'll give, let's say 15. So it's looking good now. Now when I'll click on this button, I want my message to get printed in this particular text view. So I'll create one text view. I'll use the same properties, that is center horizontal and margin top. And next thing I'll do is I'll use this below property so that it comes below the button. Now next thing, let's generate ID for this text view as well. So let's say TV. So everything is looking good. Now let's give some size so that it will be visible. So I'm giving the size as 15. So everything is done in this part. So let's move to Java side. Now I'll create object for this both properties, that is text view and button. Now let's connect it. So I'll generate button equal to find view by id r.id dot button. So it is connected now. Button is connected. Likewise we'll connect our text view. So r.tv. So this is also connected. Both the things are connected. Now I will generate on click method for button. So new view. So on click method has been generated. I've implemented on click as well. So now let us print the message or set the text. So when button is clicked, this message will generate. So everything looks good. Now let's run this program and let's see our output. So I have basically, my emulator was already running, so I've just restarted it. Yeah, so it's installing now. So you can see our button is there. So when I'll click on this, the message is getting generated, that button has been clicked. So an event is basically generated. So I hope you guys understood this button program. Now let's move on to the second one, that is edit text control. Now let me first explain what an edit text control is. So this edit text control, we users basically use it so that we can enter or modify some text. We can enter some text inside that edit text view, or we can modify or change those texts. So for that purpose we use this edit text view. So let us go to main XML again. Now here in this experiment itself, I'll create one edit text view. So what I'll do is I'll use some of the properties of edit text first, and then I'll show you few things. So this EMS property is used to give some width. So I'll generate one ID. So let's say ET. Now here in this button I'll use below property so that this button comes below my edit text. So ET. So it is now below my edit text. Now I'll use this thing, that is input type, to basically use my edit text as some type. Like let's say if I'm using this this edit text for some text only, or for some numbers, or for some passwords, so we can basically mention. So I'm using it for text. Now I'll give some hint. So with hint we can basically write something on that edit text so that user can understand for what purpose this edit text has been created. So this edit text I have created so that user can enter their name. Okay, I'll give some size, let's say 15. I'll use some margin top as 15 only. Now I'll use this property center horizontal to bring it to the middle, so it looks good now. Now I'll create one more edit text. So I'll simply copy and I'll just change the ID. So ET2. So here we'll use ET2, and here we'll use below ET. So you can see by mistake I pressed that Windows button. So okay, here you can see that enter name is there in the second one as well. So I'll change it to password. So we can use some other properties as well, like let me give some color. So text color I'll use black. So whatever we'll write, that will come in black. So here I'll use some text alignment, that is center. So there are many properties, it's up to you, whatever property you like you can use it. So here I have designed my simple form. So let's move to this Java side and create ET and let's say ET2. So both the things I've created, I'll connect it. ET equal to find view by ID r dot id dot ET, first one. Okay, likewise I'll create the second one, that is ET2 equal to find view by ID r dot id dot ET2. So this is also created. Now in place of this, what I'll do is I will print this ET and ET2, that is edit text 1 and 2's value in particular text view. So before that, let's do some validation in this edit text. Like for example, if user does not enter anything in any of this edit text, then it will throw some message that user has to enter name or password. So let's do that. So I'll use simple if et dot get text dot toString dot is empty, or I have to use the second one also. So et dot get text dot toString dot is empty, then I'll print that particular message tv dot set text, please enter your name and password. So basically what I have done is I am trying to get the text whatever user will enter, or if user leaves it blank, so it will try and check that if there is something or not. If it is empty, then it will print this particular text, and in else part I'll print the value whatever user will enter. So tv dot set text, so et dot get text dot toString. Now let me use name is, so I'll concatenate it so it looks good. Now I'll concatenate and use some other thing. Let me give next line first, then your password is, so I'll print the second edit text value, that is dot toString. So here, as I said, I am putting some validation that it will check if it is empty, and I've used OR symbol so that if any one of those is empty, then also it will print this message. So for that I've used this OR symbol, and if the user has prompted both the text, then it will simply print whatever they have entered. So let's run this and check our output. So yeah, it's ready now. Its app is installing. Yeah, so here you can see. Now I'll put some name. Let's say Dheeraj, and I'm giving some password. Let's say password itself. Okay, I haven't changed the property of this input type, so I'll change that as well. I'll show you guys. So right now you can see that name is Dheeraj and password is password. Okay, let me remove this password and I'll click on this button. So please enter your name or password. So it's basically doing everything. Just I have to change this input type for the second one. So here you can see input type is text, so I'll change it to text password. Now the next thing what I'll do is, or I'll put or. Okay, so I'll run this again. so I'll use the same name. Okay, now you can see password, text password is working fine. So I'll submit it. Now you can see both the things are basically getting printed. Now I'll remove this name as well. Now let's check validation is working out here or not. It is working. So you can see, please enter your name or password. So validation is also working, and if user is correctly entering the values, then the text are also getting printed. So that's what we tried to do. So name is Dheeraj and password is password. So I hope you guys understood this program as well, that is of EditText. Now let's move on to the last program, that is toggle button. Now this toggle button, let me explain it first. So this toggle button is basically used for indications, like something, if we want to turn on something, turn off, like settings, we turn it off, sometimes we turn it on. So toggles buttons are basically used for that purpose only. Used for some indicator or indication that we are turning some settings on, we are basically turning some settings off. So it is used for that purpose. So I'll simply remove this edit text and I'll drag two toggle buttons, or I'll create two toggle buttons. So I'll give some ID first, TB, let's say. Okay, so I'll place TB out here so that this thing is clear. So I'll now design this toggle button. So let me bring it in the middle, center horizontal, and then next thing, so text we won't give anything, so we'll use one property named as text off, where the value will be off, and we'll use this property known as text on, where value will be on. So basically we can click this toggle button on or off state and we can see. So any other property, okay, margin top I'll use 15. So basically I'm using same properties only. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it. So I'll change the ID of the second one and I'll give this button the ID. Now what I'll do is I'll place it right of TV. So I'm placing it just next to TV. Now I think center horizontal is not looking good, so I'll simply remove this. Okay, I'll give some margin left in place of that, so I'll use this. Now it's looking better. So I'll remove buttons center horizontal as well, and I'll give some margin left, let's say 15. Okay, done. Now here also I'll do the same thing, margin left as 15 only. So toggle button is, I think, ready. Now we'll do the coding part. I'll go to Java file. Now in place of this edit text, what I'll do, I'll create toggle button and I'll use TB and let's say TB2. Now in place of this TB, and next will be, sorry, TB2. Okay, here I'll connect it. So TB and TB2. Okay, I guess the second one, let's check. if we have given the ID or not. So okay, TV, and here we have to give TV2. So that was the reason it was not finding it. Okay, now it has found it. So everything is done. What I'll do is I'll simply remove this and I'll just print the values. I won't do anything, I'll simply print the values only. So okay, what I'm doing is I'm just setting the text whatever value this will give. So TB, and I'll just change it to here TB2. Now once I run this program, you'll understand it clearly. I'll explain as well. So what we are basically trying to do. So let me run this. So our app is getting installed. Yeah, it's ready. Okay, there's some mistake, I guess. Button, okay, button I have given TB1, so I have to change it. Okay, now it's below. So I'll run it again. Okay. So now here you can see our output is there. Now as I said that toggle button is basically used to generate something like an indicator. So let's say I want to on some settings or I want to off some settings. So basically for that purpose we use this toggle button. Now here you can see in text off I have used off property, and text on I have used on property. So these are the attributes which we have to use. Basically this is what we have set. For on, text on is being used, and for off, text off is basically being used. Now whatever the state is, like one is toggle button 1 is on and toggle button 2 is off. So I am just printing whatever value is there. So the values are on and off. Now I am turning the second one also as on. Now it will print on and on. So let's turn both this toggle buttons off. Now when I am clicking on the button, so both are turning off. So that's what we were trying to do. We were just using one toggle button to change the state from on to off or off to on. So with this we have completed all 3 programs. So I hope you guys understood all of these programs. If you have any doubts regarding button control, button view control, let's say okay, next edit text view or toggle button view, then you can write your queries in the comment section below, or you can text me so that I can help you in this particular things. If you have doubt, then I hope you guys have understood this. So anyways, I'll see you guys on the next program. So till then, thank you for watching.